the announcement by Police Chief Marcus Jones that he was retiring after 38 years on the force. Now, that's a long, distinguished career, but it came as a bit of a shock to many residents who admire the steady hand that the chief brought to the office in kind of a turbulent time. Cary, what do you know, and what's behind this?
Well, I've actually talked to a couple of police this week, and they just reaffirmed what I already knew. Why is he retiring? I mean, think about it. He spent 38 years in service here in Montgomery County, and that's actually one of his claim to fames. He is from Montgomery County. We hired from within. He used to be a commander in District 3. His claim to fame within the department is that he listens to people in the police department. He uses innovative techniques to try to, address problems, or address crimes. We don't have the public resources. We're short on our staffing, and he makes up with it. In other ways, like community engagements in Silver Spring with businesses, getting them involved to help the police. He pushed this drone first program, first responder program. Wonderful program. We haven't even started it yet, and the police are very excited with that. There's a new camera system that he's pushed forward. It's those kind of initiatives that made him stand out. And furthermore, he's described from policemen as being very sociable, very, approachable. Okay. When you have a police department that's been demoralized by the county council, they tell me that it just gave them a certain degree of just trust and, good feelings to have someone in the department move their way up to.
Well, I think that's why his retirement comes as a bit of a shock. And Laurie, Chief Jones seems, as Cary described, he's a highly respected guy, decent guy. Is this a big loss for the county?
Yeah, and I would say he was very diplomatic. And it worked. I think that's the word used for him, and it worked for all the Democrats that are in power, who are all of our elected officials. I was not happy that he didn't fight harder for the full SRO program in our schools, so that there's a huge weakness now in our schools because of that. But you know what? If he had fought really hard, they might have fired him. So you've got to completely, you've got to think about what can you do, what can't you do if you want to keep your job. Unfortunately, there's this huge pressure in Montgomery County to be woke and to act woke with your police force, and I wish we could have someone who gets away from some of that and who actually focuses on the law, who works with ICE.
Well, law and order seems to be a bad word these days, but I mean, the police chief can only do so much if your county council is tying their hands on the methodology. So
yeah, so I'm worried who we're going to get. I mean, I hope it is someone from within. And I know Chief Jones is trying to promote that. And so that might be the best option, but I'm afraid it's not going to change too much with our current county council.
You bear in mind, we have in Montgomery County about 1.3 police for every 1,000 residents. Jurisdictions our size have between 2.4 to 2.8 police per 1,000 residents. I mean, it depends on whether you're suburban or urban. The District of Columbia, which is 2/3 our size, has 600,000 people in it, has 3,000 police, whereas we here in Montgomery County, we only have 1,000. One thing that Marcus has stated on numerous occasions, and I actually heard him say this to the county council. Look, I'd like to have more resources. I'd like to have more money, but the Montgomery County Police Department will adapt. That has become
well, we're short. We're short 150 officers right now. That's 12% of the police force. And so our next, I would love to fill those positions before Chief Jones leaves. It sounds like he's leaving that to the next person to try to figure out. We really got to fill those positions.
Well, but I mean, let's face the issue. all police forces these days have vacancies.
Mhm.
It's become very difficult to recruit. Well, they have. I mean, it's harder to recruit. I mean, I think they talk about the bonus the bonus program the chief instituted to hire new recruits because we had dismal recruiting classes in 21 and 22. We couldn't, we were having a hard time even bringing in new officers. So it's something that's the county council has to look at the health, wealth, and safety of the citizens of Montgomery County a little bit more closely, I think. And I'll let you guys have the last word on this.
Well, the bottom line is we should hire somebody from within. The county has hired an outside recruiting firm. The police officers I talked to just kind of like shook their heads saying, I don't know. But bear in mind, when you've got a $20,000 sign-in bonus, that's wonderful. But when the District of Columbia says, gee, we'll give you $25,000 sign-up bonuses, that kind of puts the kibosh on our county. And not to mention, our first raise was the last election. And, here we thought we were catching up to the other jurisdictions. Come to find out, they got a raise. They brought them up to it. And then DC and Fairfax raised theirs.
Well, it's a competitive market. I mean, it just shows capitalism at work. It's a competitive market. Absolutely. And we need better police officers. Laurie, I'm going to have to not let you speak. We got to go to hard break.